So like a micro influencer is just someone that has less followers than, I don't know, maybe like 12,000, because like a brand will reach out to you and say, hey, you have a very concentrated amount of followers. We know that it's more likely that you are deep with your followers rather than having 1 million. You know what I'm saying? That one's more quantity based. Micro influencers are more quality based.
I guess I think I meant before the time of social media, like, because when I think about influencers, I think about LeBron James and Kobe, when Sprite came around.
Gotcha.
That's what I meant by influencers. Like, I was just like, wow, these people rocking Sprite and they make Sprite look awesome. Like, there's nobody out there that drinks a can of Sprite before they ball. Like, that doesn't make sense, but guess what? We was out there in the basketball court spriting it up. You know what I mean? The influence has been around for a while, but I think now the game has changed even more.
Oh, because I see what you mean now.
That's
that makes sense. Yeah,
that's what I meant by influence. Like, when did everybody, quote unquote, start becoming some sort of influencer?
Because they know how to hack culture, and it's sad because now we've got to a point where people really don't care about the people that follow them. They care more about the back end, the numbers. And at the end of the day, if you just care about the numbers, that means that you're not really caring about the people that you're, putting this information out to. So it's becoming a very dirty game where we're seeing more and more people not really care about the people they're influencing.
I think now these so-called influencers, we as in society users, we made them. For example, we didn't make LeBron. We didn't make Kobe. We didn't make AI. They are who they're going to be. You feel me? But we built these people, right? These micro-influencers that came out of nowhere. Like, we gave them the platform. We gave them the funds. We gave them the attention. We gave them everything. And like you said, Jabril, we'll turn around and be like, oh, and we're mad at them. We should be first mad at ourselves.
We're shocked.
Yes, we're shocked. Oh my God.
We're shocked that
how
they
could
the way they do.
You built this animal. You feel me? So.
But before we keep going into this, people. I'm sorry. We've been on this topic. We had a whole conversation going into this. So now it's like now you guys are being filled in a little bit, but we're going to fill you guys in completely. So you know exactly what we're talking about today. There's a lot of people that a lot of you love and admire, but do they love you?
Right.
Ooh. Let's start us off.
But without further ado, let's get this thing going, baby.
Yes, sir.
Tres, dos, uno.
A little Spanglish. I love it. What's going on, everybody? This is Jabril Salam.
And Muhammad Hassan.
And you will listen to the Young and Muslim Podcast.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. So, before we start this intro, we were going on a tangent and talking about influencers.
Yes.
Micro, macro, and medium-o. People in the middle.
Oh man, yeah, because we're seeing with the lockdown, who is it that is really caring about the people that they're interacting with? How are people interacting with their audiences? You know what I'm saying? I think we've shown that we're very interactive. Like, people, we always say every episode, DM us, let's talk. Yeah. We do our lives. We've restructured our entire process of doing live calls, because now we just do them with the audience. But why? Because we want to get to know the people that are listening and watching us and so on and so forth. But then we see people who we're associated with treat us like okay, you're just a like.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, it's a disrespect to the people that actually support you. So, I think that with this quarantine and with the lockdown and everybody being on their phones more often, we're starting to really get to see these people for who they are. Do they really care about us, or do they just care about their own virality and looking cool and you know what I'm saying? Are they so self-absorbed in their own nest, their own self, that they don't really care about the people who have been supported, the people who, like you said, the people who made you who you are. We made you. You be playing basketball in Pelican Bay if it weren't for me.
Cause like you said, Jabril, social media.
You ain't gonna let me finish?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Great movie.
King Kong ain't got spit on me.
Great movie. If y'all don't know, then you don't know. Like you said, Jabril, social media is a highlight reel. It is a tool, and we only see 5% typically we only see 5% of people's lives on social media, but
Hey, sorry, I gotta say this. Like all that spitting I just did is like stuck in my mask.
Mask
God,
off.
this is nasty.
Mask off.
All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
Sorry, YouTube peeps. You might want to fast forward this 10 seconds. But social media usually is a highlight reel about 5% of people's lives, right? But now with this quarantine, people having more time, I think we're pushing that limit from 5% to about 10 to 15% because now there's more time and we're seeing more people's lives. But I think what we're realizing is that we're starting to learn what the other 85 to 80% is, like how these people really living, like what are they really aiming for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like look, it's okay to give us a highlight reel, especially when you're doing things. But when you're not doing that much, like why do we care to see more of you?
It's okay to be quiet.
Exactly. and I feel like people are just we're in this age of just attention grabbing for no reason. Like you're not contributing to the betterment of our lives. You're literally just, your whole platform is just about you.
SubhanAllah, bro. On the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask us several questions. Obviously, the first one about prayer. Another thing he's going to ask us is that what did you do with your youth and what did you do with your time? Obviously, you're going to be accountable for yourselves. But something that just came to mind is that you're going to be accountable for, hey, what did you do with these people's time? What did you do with these people's youth that they had in those energy? Do you feel me?
Did you inspire them or did you just have them
come to you,
fantasizing, being jealous of the things you're doing?
Worshipping you. And then the onus, like I said, comes back to us because when you look at influencers, in a way, you try to put yourself in them shoes like, oh my God, I wish I had as much money as them. I wish I had as much views as them. But those are all in vain. The real question is like, what is it that you really want out of it? Because once you get to the point, oh, I wish I had as much money as them. Okay, then once you get to that point, you have as much money as them. Then what happens then? Are you still looking at them the same way? You know what I mean? Because the money shouldn't matter. Even if you get to that level, they should still be inspiring you somehow. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like
somewhere. Well, they should be inspiring you to be better, not just, it shouldn't be this way for someone to just look at themselves all the time. Like if you aren't speaking out on certain things, like obviously there's been this, this controversy with the riots going on in the US and the support of Black lives. A lot of influencers are having to be forced to say something, like pressure's being put on them, right? And it's crazy that that's had to happen. We had to pull people out of their own rhythm of just talking about themselves and saying what they do and be like, yeah, I've gone viral, guys.
Their own rhythm.
Follow me on TikTok.
You said their own rhythm. That's crazy.
They're in a rhythm of talking about themselves. Like that's
crazy.
The thing about it. They're so used to just posting about them that now when something is happening that globally people are talking about, people are like, yo, so are y'all still just going to tell us your makeup tutorial? We don't like how to wrap a hijab. You want to try and get to buy your mixtape?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why should we care as followers, as people who follow your page? Why do we care to follow you? Right? That's a question that a lot of people need to ask themselves when they follow a lot of these, Muslim influencers. Why are we following you? What are you bringing to the table for us? Are we just sitting here to congratulate you because you know how to do something, or you know what I'm saying? Like you look pretty. Oh, mashallah, like why? Like what are you doing? Right? Just showcasing your one charity that you went on. With a big charity isn't enough anymore.
Especially when the charity isn't local.
Exactly. So especially now when the young Muslim culture, the culture vultures are being called out. The culture vultures in the young Muslim culture are being called out because the Black culture has influenced the Muslim culture so much from the get-go, from the jump.
But they don't know that.
African Americans have influenced Muslim culture more than any other race currently, right? And for a lot of these influencers to take, and benefit off the backs of work that's been done, or especially music and style and that sort of culture, for them to take those things and then to basically ignore and push the issues that are going on currently in America under the rug it's nasty. You see who really is down and who really cares about the people within the young Muslim culture, the people that follow them, and who don't. Like even if you're not American, it's important for you to educate the people, because now you have a duty that when injustice is going on, you need to be able to speak to your people and say, even if you don't get what's happening, this is what's happening, and this is why I stand with it, and you should stand against the injustice as well.
Now, I definitely have a few questions, to unpack that. Is that, how did they get to that point? How did we let them? Like,
because we feed them likes.
That's what I'm saying. The gatekeepers, we're just too soft now. You know what I mean? Because like you said, if we understand what African Americans and blacks just did for the game, why are we giving out the game so easy? We let them people just come in and not only rock the game but crush it, and we support them. But we should be the ones on top of our own game.
The thing is, it's almost like this. It's almost like if you're talking to a girl, right?
Yeah.
And basically she lets you just get away with just abusing her attention 24/7. At first it was a little hard to get. You had to convince her, and then after a while, you got to convince her. You just get lazy with it, and you just take advantage of it.
Good.
And all you focus on is yourself.
After that, yeah.
Yeah. So like, why is she with you?
Not even on the relationship anymore.
Yeah. Like, why is she even with you anymore?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of us have horrible relationships with these influencers because it's always about them.
Yes. You know what? I see influencers now as a local business, because as a local business, they're supposed to be out there in your community. Now we can reach out to you, right? If you're a local business, and this is a prime example of Ben's Chili Bowl, big shout out to them. Yep. They adapted to the people. Whatever was going on, that's why they last, and that's why they're a successful business, mashallah. Like, what do y'all need? That's what business is about. The customer's always right. But now, the influencer's always right. How does that happen?
It makes zero sense.
Come on, bro.
It makes zero sense.
They should be bending and doing whatever we want.
They are supposed to be a service to the people.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? And look, this isn't all of them. We know some amazing influencers. We know people who are speaking out against, several injustices going on in the world. And even if it's not about speaking out against, the killing of George Floyd and, the riots going on in Minnesota, DC, New York, even if it's not about solidarity for Black lives, your platform can't just be about you. It can't just, to think about it, you are nothing without the people that follow you. It's nothing. So I get it. If you have always just done hijab tutorials, right? How to wrap the kimar, or if you are a business page, I get it. Sometimes it makes sense that your page isn't politically aligned with anything, right? But for you, if you put any ounce of your personality within a platform, you're almost responsible to talk about what's going on out in the world, because you're a part of all this. And you're benefiting off of the people who are being abused. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at some level, you have to speak out and say, "Yo, like, this is wrong." But again, like, let's take this isolated incident, right? And let's push that to the side.
Yeah. In general, let's talk about it.
When we have influencers that come in, they hack the culture, and when I mean hack, I mean they figure out how to either go viral, or they figure out, what are the things that we like.
Exactly.
They appease to the people within the culture, young Muslim culture specifically, but then they never try and give back to the culture. They just want you to consume them all the time. It's like, when is it enough? When's it enough?
It's that siphoning. It's that siphoning that you and your family taught me, because I think that goes beyond social. That's just how immigrants and people that don't grow up here do it. They come here, and instead of hacking the culture, they hack the workforce. It could be the culture, whatever. They hack the money. And what they do, they never donate. Yeah. They never come out and support the local messages. They take all the money and send it back home, or keep it in-house and get their families fat and rich. It's okay to take care of your families. You're supposed to do that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to paying your zakat, it fits in everything. Even my imam had to call people out. And imam's an influencer. He's like, guys, look, you can't pay your zakat overseas. And people argue with him. Like, no, I got people back at home. He's like, yo, bro, you can't do that. Yeah. There's people here. It is your obligation to take care of the people here. It's your neighbors. He said, yo, are you guys just that greedy or just that cheap that you're saying that you can't spend $100 here, if you're really tripping over $100, $60 to send it over to your family overseas, then you're doing it wrong. So it has to be the same with the influencers. Like, yo, bro, if you are talking about everything else under the sun, but you're not talking about what's going on in your community or something that's happening to your neighbors, you know what I mean? You are being greedy and you are being cheap with your attention and your responsibility.
Yeah.
So I think that goes overall.
So let me ask you this question then. What should we as
users,
as consumers, what should we be asking of our influencers? What should we be demanding that influencers do to make the experience of interacting with them and following them better?
Talk to us, listen to us. It's just like a politician, right? The worst politicians are the ones that go out there and talk and fight for stuff that nobody has ever asked them to do. They're fighting over stuff that has to do with them. You feel me? And the best politicians are the ones that do what? That leave their office, come and talk to the people, right? What's going on? And when they talk to the people, they talk to all the people. The poor people, the rich people, the black people, the white people, the people that know them and the people that don't know them, right? And they create dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Create dialogue and listen. Like you said right now, you have somebody that just wrote you a beautiful message and just commented and you just put you just like it. You just put a heart.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know how long it took them to do that? Engage with them. They support you. That they love you. And you just, like you said, you just disrespected them.
Yeah.
Flexing on them.
I was looking at an interview by the R&B artist Black, and he's very big and successful now. But he was talking to, I forget who was interviewing, but they were talking about when he first got started, how he really engaged with his audience. He was like, when I dropped my first album, he said, I stayed up for like 2-3 days straight looking at anybody that would talk about my album on Twitter. And then I would literally go on, message them, and have a conversation with every single person.
Wow.
To understand like how they like the album. Why did it influence them? Why? Because now when you do a concert, you're going to meet these people that you really talk to. You might remember a few of them. Like it's really about being as sincere as possible with the people that really are taking time out of their lives to listen, to give you the lifestyle that you have. You're nothing without your listeners, your fans, whoever it is.
You're nothing without your customers.
You're nothing without your customers. Like they are your number one priority, right? You have to listen to the people. And we're seeing the same thing happen with our government, right? Our government isn't listening to the people, and it's becoming a riot. We're seeing the same thing happen now with influencers off the back of the issues with the government, right? People like, yo, y'all see what our pains are. We don't care about you learning 30 languages. We don't care about you, traveling. Those things are minute in comparison to the things that are really paining us right now.
Bro, man, it reminds me of, comes back to business all the time, right? If a local business owner was like, hey guys, look, we got to raise $1,000 or I need 500 likes to open my doors and start selling my products. You're like, what the hell? What'd you just say? Look, this coffee is bomb, but before I drop this recipe, I need everybody to come line up at my door. If I don't have 200 people at my door, I'm not going to drop this coffee.
Yeah.
What? It's the same way on social media. I need 1,000 likes before I drop this new song. Bro, everybody know you got the song sitting.
Just put it out.
20,000 likes. You know what I mean?
But what does it do? That's the thing. What does that do?
I don't know.
It's all about them.
That builds the nefs.
Yeah, all they care about is their ego, bro. Yeah. And so we're literally sitting here watching people be vultures to the culture. They're taking advantage of the people who give. They're taking advantage of the culture. Hell, we want to talk about music. You know how many of these artists, they literally come in, they use black culture to get themselves big, but then they never talk about the black culture. They never talk about how they benefit so much from it.
Dang.
Hearing spats and spots, but it's like, bro, for real, this beat style you're using, whether it's Afro beats or whether it's more of a grunge style, you ain't paying no homage to it. You're just going to use it and then act like you've been had it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no you're not paying homage to the people that came before.
Yeah.
And especially within hip hop. Like, you pay no homage. Like, you literally go in, you make your music, and you just go and get the likes and the views, and you're out, and you try and do it again. Let's get another hit.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think there's certain influencers that do it, or is it just, I mean, for example, do you see Black and African American influencers doing that to their own culture, or do they know better and understand the game?
Funny enough, yes. I see plenty of people who by skin tone would be considered Black, right? But yet they never throw any representation onto the Black culture. You get what I'm saying?
I guess more the lines, I met somebody that is African American. You know what I mean? Have they
African American? I see more clowns in terms of like acting like they've been in the game, but they got like 3 songs.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? I see more clowns in that sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about them. Like, a clown's a clown. I'm talking more about the people who a clown's a clown. Like, we know you are a clown. Like, you ain't like you been, I'm the hottest dude in the game. Bro, you don't even have a mixtape. You have nothing out, right? I'm speaking more to the people who use their audiences just to gain self-gratification.
I got you.
Self-satisfaction out of likes and virality. But why? Like, what is the purpose of it? Like, what are you putting out there that's so amazing?
Yeah.
That's helping so many people. You know what I'm saying? Like, virality is it's a science to it. There's a way to do it. People hack it and know how to do it. Right? But when the push comes to shove, what are you actually influencing people to just like you, to like your stuff? Mashallah, mashallah. At the end of the day, like that's all just feeding into you. You aren't putting anything out that's really helping somebody.
Yeah. It's like one of our boys said it. What are you really influencing? Right? What are you really doing? Because the whole goal for our platform, for those that do not know and welcome, is that our goal is to get everybody here to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their own way with the lifestyle that you're living. Because we know that we're all Muslim, alhamdulillah, for the most part, but we all know that we all live different lives.
Exactly.
We're all different. We're all unique. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying, yo, everybody go ahead and follow Jabril. Oh, yeah, guys, we need 1,000 likes, so we're gonna drop an episode.
Get him to 5,000 people, and then we'll let you know who our next guest is.
Exactly.
Like, nah, bro. Like, put the stuff out there. Let the people enjoy your stuff, and that's how you give your audience value. Give your audience value. We live in a society. You remember Gary Vee's book, Jab Jab Right Hook, right? I mean, you can answer. Yeah. Jab Jab Right Hook. It's like you got to keep jabbing, giving people jabs, and then eventually you make an ask for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you got to give them value, and eventually you make that ask. Like, hey guys, like, you guys have been supporting since day one. Like, I appreciate it. Can you guys go and like this video, whatever it is? But if the content you're putting out is all just about you, and you're not telling us a story, you're not giving us any sort of history, you're not giving us anything that can make us, like, give us better information.
But what is value? Like, am I providing value because I'm making you smile? Because I'm making you laugh? Is that value?
I think so.
You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to figure out what are the different levels of value. If I'm talking about myself, but you're laughing, is that enough? You know, if you're looking at me because I'm beautiful, and I'm helping you become more beautiful, is that value? Yeah, that's the different things I'm trying to figure out. You know,
but shouldn't it come down to a time and place? So, for instance, we talk about the riots post George Floyd's killing, right? What is making me laugh going to do in a time like this? Why not ask how everybody's feeling? Yo, how is everybody doing? Like, oh, and all right, we'll put a perfect example like this. There's a lot of influencers out there whose audiences aren't predominantly African American. They're people from outside of the U.S. who like these people because they got the culture and the pizzazz of where they see, Americans or Canadians or whoever, these people that have this more westernized culture. You're bringing in audiences who don't understand our culture, right? So you're benefiting from everything that our people are putting in.
Got you.
And the culture from the West. But when there's a problem here, you're hesitant to actually address the problems going on here, because you have hundreds of thousands of people following you.
Yeah.
And they don't know.
Yeah.
Or they're ignorant to it. Or now, people calling out, the racist Arab and Desi and Asian communities, and even African communities, the East African communities that are very hesitant to really support what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So without the influencers whose audiences are in those areas, their audiences are just like, oh, well, then it's not a big deal. But it is, because the person that you're following has benefited off of this stuff. You get what I'm saying? From the way they dress, to the way they talk, to the music that they're putting out, to the makeup that if you use Rihanna's Fenty, or if you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys, and as someone that has influence, it has to be your job and duty to speak out against injustice as a Muslim.
As a Muslim. Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Now I get it, and I'm seeing stuff where people like, oh, I'm sorry I'm late, but I had to think about the perfect response. You know what I mean? I had to console different people. I had to talk to people that were impacted. Bro, who are you? What do you mean? Like, you're not Dr. King? What do you mean you had to go out there and console?
Where's Ja?
They're like, bro, and I get it. If you can't talk about it because this is tough, go on Instagram Live and bring somebody that can talk about it.
Exactly.
Bring somebody that's in the NAACP. Bring somebody that's doing something. Bring somebody that's on the ground.
People.
Educate. Hey, look, guys. Yes, I'm Arab. Hey, I'm Desi. Hey, I'm Asian. Hey, I'm South American. I honestly do not know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you guys. But guess what? I have a huge platform. People listen to what I got to say because they like me and I'm honest. You go on there and tell us what's going on. Another thing that irritates me is that people like, yes, we support you and everything like that. But we all talk about economics again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring us to the table. Let us come on your platform and speak. You know what I mean? Let us do that. Hey, you send me a video and I'll do a repost. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you post something, I'll do it. Hashtag BLM. What's that going to get us?
Yeah, we live in a hashtag culture.
I don't want no hashtag.
Yeah.
Bring me, you know what I mean? Bring me to the table so I can bring my people here and bring, like you say, bro, my agenda, the black agenda that's going to help my people. Yeah. You feel me? So I think that is also missing from the influence game too.
Yeah, man. I'm seeing more and more people that they're now starting to come to light, right? They're starting to say, okay, well, we need to talk on this. But now as audiences, we need to ask ourselves, okay, we need to start taking notes. Who are the people that weren't saying anything, and we going to document that. We're going to document that really well, right? However, there's a flip side of things where there are certain influencers who never talk about anything political. They don't talk about anything with injustice. They don't do stuff with nonprofits. They don't do any of that sort of work, right?
Is that fair? Do you think they can just live under the radar like that?
I think that it's almost like a business, right? Like a pie shop. I don't expect to see mom and pop's pie shop say anything about it, but if they do, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're in a community of African Americans. They're like, hey, we stand with you guys. I love seeing that stuff. Yeah. But I also don't expect to see State Farm say anything about it. You know what I'm saying? And if we go back to influencers and their brands, I don't expect this to have, I have this one sister specifically who she does like makeup and like hijab and tutorials and all that sort of stuff. I don't expect to see her say something about it, especially because she's Arab, she lives in Dubai or something like that and whatever. However, I also don't want to see you posting about your outfit of the day.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to take either if you're going to be posting, then you need to be speaking on what's going on, because that's obviously a lot bigger than
that's the value you were talking about.
Exactly. Like if you're trying to pull my attention away from the things that are important and are hurting people that follow you, then you're not bringing value anymore. But if you're using your platform to say, you know what, like this is really bad, and I feel obligated because there's people that follow me who have family members that are dying, that have people that are out there in these riots. You know what I'm saying? People that have influenced the culture that I'm a part of are out there fighting, and what am I doing? Yeah, showing you, that I still need a haircut or something. Yeah. Like you get what I'm saying? It's like it can't. These platforms, Allah has blessed us with these platforms to help others.
It's not yours.
These followers aren't yours. These followers are all Allah's.
This is all Allah. These are, at the end of the day, like we said earlier, we just need to be following the Quran and the Sunnah of our Prophet. That is the only person we should be following. Yes, we're supporting you because everything, but that comes back to us users. Man, let me tell you something. If you are relying for these people for everything, you've lost. Like, you relying for these people for marriage advice, how to go about your day, what to do. It's already in the Quran. Obviously, it's good to see these different influences to help you, but if you're relying heavily on this, you already have lost, because you forget these are also human beings.
Yeah, they're going to make
mistakes. These
mistakes.
are people that make mistakes, and you don't know what they do outside of the social media platform. So, users, take your time back, take your energy back, and put it all in yourself. Reinvest in yourself, because like Jabril said, most of the time, they really don't care about you. No. If you're not liking their stuff or subscribing or commenting, then they're gonna wait for your friend to, and then their friend, because at the end of the day, they getting paid off of you. Yeah. So
look, and I think a good amount of them aren't even being paid. Yeah, that's the funny thing. I really don't think a lot of them are being paid.
They're looking to get paid, I guess.
Well, look, they might get paid here and there off of, whatever, an ad here or there or whatever. But the reality is, none of them are actually living off of this. A lot of influencers aren't living off of their Instagram. Like I said, there's certain ones. There's certain ones that are like, hey, like I do posts and things of that nature. But my Instagram, a lot of them, their Instagram is, like I said, it's just a vanity thing. It's literally about them posting.
So it's even deeper than,
because in their head they're like, you know what, I'm gonna post this and they'll get a lot of likes. Meaning a lot of people. So we contribute value to how many likes we get, but sometimes that's not the case. You know how much BS buffoonery we posted and it gets a lot of likes.
Yeah,
and you do it because it's for laughs. But I would feel very weird if I'm posting stuff that is funny and like it gets laughs, it gets a bunch of likes, and we get attention, but it's not really giving attention to something that's very important at the time. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's attention. That's why we get rewarded for our intention. And if we do a good action following up on that, then we get double reward for that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I believe in the hadith, don't know which one, the 40 hadith of Nabawi, is like, if you do a good deed, follow up with a good deed. If you do a bad deed, follow up with a good deed. You know, so it's never too late to educate, do what you need to do, but renew your intentions at the door. And I would also have people around you, because there's been times where we even been checked. Like, we post something, they're like, okay, what were you thinking when you post this? You know what I mean? Where was your heart at? You feel me, when you posted this? Because sometimes, like you said, Jabril, you're enraged or your emotions has filled up, and then you post something and you wanted to do it for a good cause. You wanted to go out there. You wanted to support, but it might have came off the wrong way. It's okay to come back and apologize and then keep going, you know? So we also need to be merciful and know that everybody is human. So balance.
Yeah. End of the day, man, I'm going to say, like I said, if you are an influencer and you have any sort of following, you need to be speaking on things that can help your following understand what's going on in the world. We've done it for Christ Church. We've done it for, the people of Kashmir. We did it for Sudan. We went in for Sudan.
Alhamdulillah, we did.
You know what I'm saying? We do it for Yemen. We speak on all these topics when it comes to people in the Arab world and in the East African world, the Middle Eastern world, right? The Asian world. But when are we actually going to start giving that same energy to the black community? And when I say black, I mean the American, the people who are African American, the people who are Africans that have come into America, the people of color in this country who are being tortured. They're being desecrated. You know what I'm saying? When are y'all going to speak out against the atrocities that are happening here? To our people, the people that you interact with on a regular basis, the people that you like their stuff.
And another thing is that don't make it about you, right? Because if we're talking about what's going on in the African American community and you're Arab or you're from another country or whatever it is, and you're a little bit darker, don't be like, oh, I know how they're feeling. There's been times where I've been also profiled. Like, bro, again,
this ain't about you.
This ain't about you. Let's talk about the matter in hand. And we even get messages where people are like, oh my God, well, brothers, yeah, but everybody's getting tortured around the world. There's racism. I know, and we talk
We
about
ain't talking about racism everywhere. We're talking about stuff here.
We talk about those things all the time. Oh, it's a human issue. Oh, so it's always a human issue when we talk about African Americans. It's a human issue, right?
Yeah.
But then anytime else, oh, brother, you're spreading racism. You're trying to make it seem like
division.
You're trying to make it seem that Muslims are racist. Now y'all worrying about looking like a racist, but when y'all been racist your whole life, y'all weren't worrying about that. Yeah. But now that we're standing up and say something, oh, brother, calm down. Yeah,
people don't like to have pressure put up against them. Just like these influencers don't like pressure. But guess what? The pressure's coming. Because we as the audiences now know. The people have spoken.
Yep.
The people have spoken. We're not standing for these glamour fests that y'all are on. Yeah. We don't care. Understand? We don't care. If you are consuming and you're taking our attention in, you're taking from our cultures, you're exploiting us for our attention and time to like and engage with your content, then you damn sure baby giving us something out of that attention we're feeding to you. You better be giving us stuff other than something I can move to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, bro. Enough is enough. And somebody had a great example yesterday, Uncle Mo, bringing it back to business. He was saying that people come from different countries and they go into a poor community where the rent is cheap, right? And they get a nice loan because they can. Then what do? They move and shop and they take advantage. Same way with social media, because the entry barrier is low. It's free to start an Instagram page. So that means you come into a community that has different type of barriers, and what do? You focus on the culture that everybody is doing and that you're about. Then once you focus on it, you pinpoint where you want to be, and then you just keep attacking. But all you're doing is just pulling. You feel me? You're pulling. What are you doing? You're raising the prices on everything. What I mean by raising the prices is that you're asking for more. You know what I mean? Like you said, I need more likes. I need more attention. Go follow this page. Go follow that page. Give me a shout out. You feel? What are you doing? You're raising the prices on your people rather than them just having a conversation with you. You know what I mean? So it's.
But you know what? We're not just gonna talk about the negative people. Shout out to the influencers who were the first people to really speak out on it.
Oh yeah. Without being told.
Without having to feel any pressure. Shout out to the people who, even outside of the tragedies that are going on, outside of just the madness that is America right now, shout out to the influencers who on a regular basis are putting other people on, who are going on other people's platforms, and whether they're talking about what they do or they're talking about how they've been helping people, whatever it is. Shout out to those influencers. Shout out to the influencers who use their platforms to bring people on. You know what I'm saying? We've had plenty of people bring us on their platforms recently, and we really appreciate it. And then shout out to the audience. Shout out to y'all, because at the end of the day, y'all are what make anything that we do personally or anything that any of these influencers do have value.
Facts.
Because if you don't watch, if you don't listen, we're just talking on deaf ears. We're talking into a microphone that it goes nowhere.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So understand your value. Understand that you guys matter a lot more than some of these people that you follow are letting you believe.
I like that.
And know that at any point you can hit the unfollow button, and that hurts them more than it hurts you.
You're worth it.
Know that.
You know what I mean? You're worth it. Nah, that's exactly right. And where you had the reference earlier about relationship. Yeah. As a woman or a guy, know that you're worth it. Yeah. And if you're not getting that attention and you're not getting that love and that compassion that you deserve, you just leave.
Yeah, you can leave. Especially in this relationship. You can leave it anytime you want. Right? So, yeah, that's my piece on the whole thing, man. I sincerely hope that we weed out the culture vultures. We weed out the people who are just here for their own vanity. And we take back what it really means to have legit influencers, people that are representing something bigger than their own nefs.
Focus on the ones that are building you. You want people around you, and that's social media or attention. You want people that are building you, not breaking you. Yeah. You feel me? So build with them. They'll build with you. And that's going to be a beautiful journey.
Yeah. I agree.
So, things about that time, Jabro.
Yes, it is, my friend.
We love all y'all. Shout out to every single person out there vibing. But we're going to have to wrap this bad boy up. But before we do, Jabro.
Yes, sir.
They want to highlight us. How can they do that?
Yes. If you want to shoot us a DM, if you just want to check in on us, or if you just want to see how we do what we do out here for you, you can hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Young the letter N Muslim. That's Young and Muslim, YOUNG the letter N Muslim. Instagram, Twitter. You can find us on YouTube at The Young and Muslim Podcast. Look us up. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and of course, hit the bell. Ding. But Muhammad, if they want to listen, where can they listen at?
Yeah, so if you want to listen to everything that we got to say, check us out on the major podcast platforms. Alhamdulillah, we're on all of them. SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify again. There's a lot. Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio. We're on all that, alhamdulillah. So look, to make it easy for you, the link is in our bio for our Instagram and Twitter. So go on there, alhamdulillah, and check us out. And leave us a review. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. And also let us know what you want to talk about, because we're listening and we're down.
So when we say shoot us DMs, we're always saying like, hey, like let us know what's a topic that's close to you that maybe you think we can talk on, and you will want to hear our opinion on, and maybe we can shed some light on from what we're seeing out in the bigger, more broad young Muslim community, because that's what we're here for. We're the voice of the people, baby. Yes.
Bro, let's go ahead and I wish I had it on me.
The wrap it up button.
Wrap it up.
How long have we been on, my friend?
For about 42 minutes.
So for the last 42 minutes, you have been listening to the Young and Muslim Podcast. I'm Jabril Salam.
And Muhammad Hassan.
And we leave with the greens of peace.
Assalamu
alaikum.